Okay, boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. We have a magnificent guest with us today, one who is going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration, and that is none other than our brother Fard Mahdi. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal. And on behalf of myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast, we want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come have a conversation with us today. It was an honor to be able to meet you this past Savior's Day in person. Thank you for having such a brotherly spirit, and that truly means a lot to me. The first question that we have for you, sir, is when did you first hear the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
Yes, sir. I want to just say one thing, dear brother. I want to just give you your honor in your family sacrifice to help our spiritual father get the nation up and running to where we're at. I can't say I know, but I can just imagine what it was like growing up and your father being the supreme captain in the nation for nearly 10 years and what the sacrifice that your siblings, your mother actually had to endure. So it's an honor and a pleasure, brother. But I have to give y'all that honor because we wouldn't be where we was at if it wasn't for your father and your family, your mother. We wouldn't be there. So man, so all praise due to Allah for you and your family, dear brother.
Yes, sir. That means a lot to me, brother Farad. Yes, sir. And we're going to thank you for you and your family as well. But we want to know, when did you first hear the teachings?
Oh man, so I can't. That's one thing I don't know. Because brother Joshua, I was I was involved in the crime lifestyle, right? I was a street dude, thug, or whatever, right? So I started going to juvenile at an early age, probably like 11 or 12. So I started catching serious cases around that time. I wasn't even in high school. So I cannot remember the first time I actually just heard the teachings. I remember being in juvenile when the Malcolm X movie came out, and I remember being I can't put my finger on the first time I heard the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan voice. I can't do that, but I always had a desire for him. Now, so me going in, I would have brushes with the nation, you know what I'm saying, but not get it in full. But when I finally joined the nation on my last federal prison bid, I did 9 years for a gun charge. When I joined the nation, then I got an auntie, cousin, rather, first cousin, but she was my mother's niece, and my mother wasn't here. She got murdered when I was 8. So a lot of my mother history I didn't know, you know what I'm saying, because I only had 8 years with her. But my father reached out to, well, I'm calling my father, and he was like, "Hey, Kim said she reached out, said she want to send some money, get your number and all that." Then we in the junk, we always trying to connect with folk, but we need something on the books, right? So,
Yes, sir.
so I called Kim, but at this time, I'm probably about 2 years into this journey where I'm on right now in Islam, in there. And I told her, I said, Kim, I'm a Muslim now, whatever. She was like, Jackie did that. That was my mother's name, Jacqueline, but we called her Jackie. She was like, Jackie did that. I was like, yeah, but I'm in the nation. She was like, Jackie did that. She was in the nation. I'm like, what? So I called my father, and I'm like, hey, Kim said that my mama was in the nation or whatever like that. He was like, yeah, when we met, she was off into that. I was like, why you ain't never say nothing? So all that now I'm like 31, bro, Joshua. I'm like 30. Just imagine finding this at the age of 31, right? And I said, what? And he was like, it never came up. You know what I'm saying? So, that was, so I was like, so I had to look at it like, I wondered, did she put that into me? Because she was in the nation before the fall. So she probably got in around 74, right before. Then she met my father in like late 75 or 76 or something like that. They had my brother in 77 and they had me in 81. So literally, she could have put that in me. You know what I'm saying? Like I could have been a yearning from her wanting a child because she never got back into it. You know what I'm saying? And never us got back into it because her mother was a Christian. Even her stepdaddy was a Christian pastor, which is my grandfather. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up in the church as well. But I can't put my finger on it when the first time I heard it, brother.
Yes, sir. No problem. All praise due to Allah. And thank you. This is a great story. Sister Miriam says, Assalamu alaikum, family, alaikum salams. Brother Nelson Ramos, Assalamu alaikum, Brother Nelson Ramos, he says, Assalamu alaikum, beautiful family. Thank you for holding it down from Massachusetts and all the people showing love all around the world. I wanted to ask you, what was it that resonated on your last bit that made you say, all right, I want to accept Islam?
Oh man, so I've been to the state penitentiary in Alabama twice on two different charges, two different occasions. And each time I would have a closer brush with the nation.
Mm,
So my first bid, I went to the state. I had like 3 years or whatever like that. I went to prison at 17. Got out when I
mm,
was 20. But in that, I'm gangbanging. So I'm out the west side of Birmingham where it's GDs over there, Crips or whatever. But I was a GD. So I was
okay,
involved in that.
okay.
So I'm in the prison and we banging. We in prison, we banging this and third like that. So one of the west side Crip homies, he come in there. The teaching had touched him and he had changed. And at this time, we were so young and back this is like the late 90s. So
Okay.
if you was in our back then, and we just coming in and we fresh, and some of us teenagers, we ain't even made out of high school yet. And we talking to brothers that been locked up. If you had been locked up 5 years, it was like you had did 20 to us.
Mm,
So he had
mm,
been gone since like 94, whatever, like that. So now it's about 2000, the year 2000. So he been gone 5 years. So we looking at him like OG status, like, bro, you know what I'm saying? So he come in from a like a work camp or lower level, and he coming on the prison yard with us, but he coming to our dorm, which was a more of a gladiator type of dorm where you act up, they put you up there where all the troublemakers at. He come
mm,
up there, and he was exposing us to the pale horse, to behold the pale horse and
mm,
stuff
mm,
like
mm,
that. And that was my first encounter. Then he'd take us to the chapel, whatever, and we'll watch certain DVDs or whatnot like that. And then I got out. And I was saying I left him, I got out. So that was like the first close brush to Islam. Boom. Then I come back about 3 years later. Now I go to another prison, high level, and now I run into another brother. He come in. He was from Huntsville, Alabama. He come on the yard where we at. It's a maximum security yard here, St. Clair, and he teaching hard. The white man,
mm,
and this is what he teaching, but that's the only thing he could really teach. His name was Derek X. I'll never forget that brother. And he was teaching hard. So he'll full up the classroom for Jumar. Because in there, we had our service, like how we do the Sunday service out here in the nation. That's
yes, sir.
Friday for the nation in prison and all over
Mm,
the week. That's Friday, right? So we in there for Jumar, whatever like that. And he teaching hard. And I don't know if you remember when 3 white police got killed in Birmingham in like 2004. So this is like 2005. So that was a big topic. Well, you had a brother kill 3 white police in one scenario, one incident, right?
mm,
And
mm,
so that had just happened. So he was teaching on that. He should have did it. He was just teaching on that. So one day the administration just snatched him up, but he had a bunch of us trying to join in. So the first
mm.
book I think he gave me was From Niggas to Gods.
Okay, yes,
Like
sir.
I
Yes,
even
sir.
got that book before I got Message to the Black Man, but I got that book From Niggas to God. So now I'm starting to awaken. But when they moved him off the yard, obviously we just went back to doing what we was doing. I end up getting out. Boom. So now I get out, I come back again, but now I'm going to the feds this time. So that
Mm,
was my other brush, you know what I'm saying, Islam. And then what made me latch on to the teachings? I grew up in the church. I had a grandfather that was a pastor. I had a grandma, my father's mother. She went to Bible study. She went to everything dealing with the church. All right. And ironically, Brother Joshua, my grandma had her pastor was a white lady. My
mm,
grandma pastor was white. I didn't been in the church, nice church, beautiful church. You know what I'm saying? But she used to be into that. She wouldn't let the cable be attached to her TV or nothing. She'll watch the gospel stuff all day. So she was very religious and Christian. So once I started going to juvenile, they would send Christian pastors in there to talk to us.
yes,
And
sir.
we would, some of us would have questions. We'd be sitting there because, we 13, 14, our mind's still a little curious. You know what I'm saying? We don't think we know everything yet. So we'd be like, hold on. Now, if Adam and Eve were the first 2 people on the planet, right? And the serpent tricked them. They ate from the apple. They had 2 children. One killed one, and then this one go over here to this village over here. Well, who is this people? He know his wife, and
Mm,
where did them people come
mm,
from? I explain that. Well, don't worry, don't question God. This is what they telling us. I'm like, this don't make sense. So I come into the nation hearing the minister, and reading and what the Christ said and message to the black man, I'm like, oh, everything just started adding up. I knew, like me even believing in the wheel, it was so easy for me to believe in that because I knew about the Ezekiel story, but it just made me believe in aliens. It made me believe in aliens. So when I hear the Christ break it down, I hear the minister break it down, I'm like, oh, I've been believing this all my life, but just didn't understand it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That just unpacking those questions that we had, because I tell people all the time, like I have a daughter that's 21 and she in Birmingham. The way I was reached with Islam, you can't reach her with that. She didn't grow up in the church. So she can't go in there and hear all that scripture and Jesus talk. But me, I grew up in it. I had a grandfather who was a pastor, and we used to go and
Yes,
see
sir.
him preach. And he used to go. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't add up, and they never made me see myself. I like, well, where I'm at in the book. And then once you come to the teaching, we pointed, here you want to look at your picture, here go the picture. Here you go right here. So that's the thing that made me latch on to it. And it was easy to grab certain things because I already had not a brief knowledge of some, branch knowledge, a little, just been exposed to certain scriptures. And then when they explained it, it just convicted me.
All praises to Allah. Beautiful. Go ahead. Yes, sir, Fard. And thank you, everyone who's watching all around the world. I wanted to ask you, what advice would you, first of all, I got to meet Larry Hoover Jr. Working on a campaign to help free his father, free Larry Hoover, last year. So we do a lot of work with a lot of the people in the community, but one of my mentors is GD, slash FOI. So I understand a lot of what you all's principles are. Yes, sir. So I wanted to ask you, what advice would you give to the future generations who feel they have to go to prison, do a bid as a rite of passage?
Man, I would say the first thing, before that, it'd have to be like, try to find something positive, you know what I'm saying, to latch on to, whatever it could be. Try to find a more of a why, because our young people right now, as the minister teach us, and as we understand it, that now we're not teenagers no more, they're in a rough position. Because when you're 16, 17, 18 years old, you're not a child, but you also not an adult. So you like in between. So it's a lot of stuff pulling your way. You want to do what you want to do, but then you still under your parents. And it's just about finding an example, because I don't remember, because it used to be, my homeboys was the one, my OGs, they were the ones who used to be like the ones we looked it up to and listened to. But they didn't
Yes, sir.
teach us nothing right. You know what I'm saying? And I don't remember the nation. I might have seen them once or twice, but I don't remember them knocking on my door. I don't remember them seeing them in the hood and on the corners like how you might can see us now. But I would say, always try to listen to the minister, that just really tap in and plug in and listen to the Minister Louis Farrakhan with a conscious mind. Forget about everything that you think you know, because most of the stuff we think we know is really just a detriment to our own growth and what we could know, and that'd be my advice, to like really, if you see the brothers on the corner, you see the brothers coming to your door, get the final call, read the back page, read it, start reading and start engulfing yourself in what's inside of the final call newspaper, which is our main resurrecting tool, which will help people unlock those cobwebs or those rusty locks and start moving those rusty locks in the right direction. That would be my advice, man. And try to stay away from trying to please the crowd, trying to fit in. Because I deal with a lot of youngsters here now. I brought 2 youngsters out of one of the hoods in East Tampa, on the east side of Tampa, where I'm at now. I brought them to Savior Day. They 15, 16 years old. They met Brother Nuri, talked to them for a minute, signed, they got the book. One of them got the book, the mathematic books. I got it too. Brother Nuri, and he spoke to them for about 15 minutes. I introduced them to Brother Ben, because me and Brother Ben have a relationship.
Yes, sir.
And they remembered that, but they in that stage, they're in high school, one playing football, they already getting high and stuff like that. So it's a gravitational pull. So now I'm trying to do other things so I can deal with them more. Because me dealing with them one day out of the week, 2 days out of the week, it really not enough. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on on something else, like my own community center, the type of thing, center, so I can bring them in and have stuff, activities for them daily to pull them out of that lifestyle. So I would say, but they think they don't be trying to fit in or they doing themselves, but what they do is really trying to fit in. I asked them, why you smoking? Why you talk about girls like that? Why you disrespect? Why you do that? I said, you don't know because this is what you see. So you're fitting in, you're being groomed to fit in, and you don't even see it. You think you're doing you, but that's why you get high. Because you see other people around you getting high. You know what I'm saying? So I would just say, don't be yourself. Don't try to fit in. And remember, everything that somebody's doing, they didn't invent it. So if you start doing it, it ain't something you came up with or created. You know what I'm saying? But find your niche and try to find your purpose on why you are living. The faster you find that, the faster your life will start to mean more on a day-to-day basis on why you're even waking up.
Oh, President, so go ahead and teach Reverend Ryan. Yes, sir. And your wife, to see your tears showing love. Assalamu alaikum, family. Walaikum salam. Brother Tony, assalamu alaikum, walaikum salam, sir. I wanted to ask you, how important is business and your business acumen to you and to us as a people?
Well, my business acumen becomes from, I have a saying that me and my wife, we starting to say a lot. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he is my financial advisor. And so I take on that. I was, like I said, I was in the streets. I sold drugs. I did all of that and above. I really wasn't good at it because I didn't get caught with drugs a lot, but I would just always mess up the money. You know what I'm saying? I would never really hold the money. So I had other homeboys, they was better at that than me. You know what I'm saying? I was more on the violent. I like the that side of the streets, you know what I'm saying, more than just hustling and staying out of the way and getting money. But I would say that the minister teaches us to first we have to have a moral compass to why we're doing certain things. There's nothing wrong with a brother who's saying he's spiritual or Muslim, Christian, or whatever religion he in, to really seek money, to really go after money, to really go after large sum of money, because once you understand what money is really for, then the more you will get, you will help more people. You know what I'm saying? So once I blowed up in my business, I started employing people. I started doing more stuff for the community, doing more stuff for the youth. And I met some of these youth when I wasn't able to do financially what I'm able to do financially today. You know what I'm saying? But I had to try to keep the relationship in bay, but staying consistent in it, and that understanding that, I have financial goals that I want to hit. I have a certain amount I want to make every year. In the next 5 years, the next 10 years, I have a certain amount that I want to be worth this, because I have a lot that I want to accomplish to do it. And I know that money is a tool to do that. So you just got to have a moral compass and be righteous. You know what I'm saying? And I won't do nothing illegal no more, nothing that, that just devalues or takes away from people. So I'm not with the scamming and I'm not with all of that. But it's just about having that moral compass, trying to be right, because the business people of this world, they're wicked at the core. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be the new businessmen. That's why we in the suits. That's why we in the bow ties. You know what I'm saying? As the minister has taught us for over the years, this is why we in there, because we are the new businessmen of the new world, and we have to set up the institution. So my whole thing with my business is to set up a righteous institution, a righteous network, a righteous system for everybody. Whether you Muslim, Christian, whatever, you know what I'm saying, don't matter, for everybody to get in. And I live by the code that is, why start a business if you can't invite anybody into it? You know what I'm saying? Like I had a brother, me and a brother, FOI was on MGT post yesterday. And he's in a financial bind where he got fired from his job. You know what I'm saying? But his wife works. So I understand by having a wife how that could be with that type of, weight on the brother, and they have a son. You know what I'm saying? And I think he has other children as well. But he asking me like, brother, I know you doing this and doing that. I'm ready to get in, blah, 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 blah. So, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. So you could come to me and say, okay, what I need to do. I can't just give you a script. I can't give you something like, that's not a reality. What's practical? You know what I'm saying? So I have a network where I can say, well, listen, if you do this in the third, you'll start getting paid. But you got to be coachable. You got to be willing to run the play, and how long it will take you to get there, I don't know. It took me almost 3 years. You know what I'm saying? But I stayed consistent. And that's where most people fail. They don't stay consistent and get hard. Even when I had a job, I still did my business like that would like that's what provided the income for me when it didn't. You know what I'm saying? I started my business with a full-time job. You know what I'm saying? But when I got off work, I'm doing my business. When I'm on break, I'm doing my business because my goal was to never stay there working for anybody coming out of prison. I'm coming out of the street lifestyle mentality, coming into Islam and then coming to prison with the understanding that I'm God. Well, I can't work for nobody. You know what I'm saying? I got to be able to do my own thing. And this is what, we may don't touch on this enough though. The Final Call newspaper is so critical because imagine a brother like me that got murder on his record, possession of firearm, federal cases, attempted murder. I got all this robberies. I got all this violent stuff on my record. Well, I can't go and get no type of corporate job. I can't sell. I can't get a life insurance to sell any type of insurance with being a convicted felon. Now, I didn't know that until I started trying to do that. You feel what I'm saying? But as a convicted felon, you can't sell life insurance. You feel what I'm saying? So there's a lot of stuff that I'm blocked out from. But the paper. So while I'm trying to get this job, while I'm trying to make $20 an hour, which in today's dollars ain't really nothing, but that's more than $10. You know what I'm saying? That's more than working at McDonald's. But I can't get out. This would not, that they folks would not hire me, bro. Joshua. I had to go to work at the plan was for me to get out. I had two homeboys, one that came out of the feds, one came out of the state. They was full-time at Piggly Wiggly warehouse. They had the warehouse at Piggly Wiggly grocery store. And they worked there. They know people there. They was like, when you get out, bro, we got you. We're going to get you on this and that third. You're going to work for about $10 to $12 or something in your first 90 days. And then, boom, you're going to bump up and go like $19. You know what I'm saying? Do you know that what they know and from who they know and how long they had been there, they couldn't get me that job? Them folk denied me. They reached back to my attempted murder case that happened way back in 2003. Now, this is 2016. They bringing up something happened in 2003 saying, no, but I know these brothers. So I'm like, damn, so now I got another avenue. What I'm going to do? And then it's the Final Call newspaper, man. I started rocking out with the Final Call newspaper, man. I was making hundreds daily, you know what I'm saying, in Birmingham, going out 7 days, 6-7 days a week consistently. Then I had my network, my business brand on the backside. You know what I'm saying? So I started doing the both. So the paper took care of me. Even when I got married and married my wife, the ring she got on now, the Final Call paid for that paper. My feet paid for that paper, right? The summer, the long days paid for that. But that's the mentality you gotta have, and you gotta do for self. That's like you a Muslim. There ain't no other options. We'll do whatever we gotta do that's legit and legal till we get to that point. And that's why the minister gave away the Still Away program. If you can't walk away, still away. But then you got to understand money. It's a whole lot of stuff you have to understand to know even how to really effectively still away. You know what I'm saying? Because we might think I'm saving dollars, you still in the way. No, you're not. You know what I'm saying? Because the purchasing power is going down so fast that you might think you got $10,000 saved in the bank, but when you go and try to use it, it's going to get you about $1,000, $2,000 worth of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because of inflation and whatnot. So that's a whole nother thing right there. But that's what keep me grinding, the consistency, and it's that I'm unemployable. I came into the nation to help bring the light to our people that Master Fard Muhammad is God in person. He is Allah in person. That the Muslim Muhammad is the Christ that people been waiting on, and the minister is the Aaron, the Peter, all of the above, the other last part of Muhammad in the Quran. That's what my mentality is. So I can't do that on the job. I can't prove that on the job. Because they're like, well, bro, you saying you got all this knowledge. Y'all got all this, so what's your lifestyle? What are you looking at? So that's what I came to try to do. So that's what keep me focused and keep me grounded. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead and teach me, Fard. All praise to the Lord. Yes, sir. And people showing you love all around the world. Your wife, Sister Yatira, says she loves her ring. Sister Margaret says, ASA family, thanks for sharing. Walaikum salam, and thank you all for watching. And speaking of business, I want to thank all of the businesses that sponsor the People's Podcast. We have a quick 60-second commercial break. Thank you for all of the People's Podcast affiliates, everyone who likes, shares, and subscribes to the People's Podcast. We truly appreciate it. 1 second. We're coming right back to our brother Fard. 1 second. Here we go. And we are live with the People's Podcast. Street Premiere Media Production. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. Please reach out if you need any of that. Sister Naima, Stay On Point Dance Academy. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country. Sister Miriam, ABC I Love Me children's book and coloring book. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ. My 2 books, Cleopatra, which is a children's book, and No Father, No Excuse, both of which are available on Amazon. Perfect. Thank you all. And please let us know which city you all are watching in the comments, as well as if you have any guest suggestions, let us know as well. All right, Brother Farah, I wanted to ask you, what exactly is your business and how can people reach out to you who want to learn more about your business?
Yes, sir. My business is geared around financial literacy, teaching the ins and outs, and teaching the science of money, teaching the science of banking, business, networking, financial warfare, the things that they kept us away from. So one of the main highlighted books, we sell books. I still push the Final Call newspaper to this day. But we look for systems. We look for networks to get in that will allow our money to grow. And that has a referral base. You feel what I'm saying? Now we are on me and my wife are putting together a referral base of our own, but we look for these things that, because a lot of this stuff out here is really made available for us dealing with the technology. So we look for these ways that will let us grow our money, understand what the wealthy elite never would teach the masses about money. You know what I'm saying? So we strive to do that, and we do it on our YouTube channel. We have multiple broadcasts. We ain't been doing too many broadcasts this year. But I did the end of last year, we started a new series called Problem 13, Luxury Money, Good Homes. What is called Luxury Money, Good Homes. Subtitle is A Lighter Understanding. Well, this really started with me and a brother, FOI. We soldiered together all the time in Tampa. And then we would leave and go eat, and then we would go drink coffee or something like that. And we would just be building. And he'd be like, man, why is that like? And I was like, man, we need to start getting that on a getting it put it on the broadcast. We just ask questions. You get you a camera, you ask me the questions instead of us, not giving it to the public or whatever like that. And that's what started that broadcast. We got Business and Warfare broadcast. We got the Future Money Show. So we have a lot. I had a Crypto Mornings that I'm gonna bring back in the next month or two. I'm about to bring that broadcast back that I did every morning, 5 days a week. Just going over different articles on what's going on in the market, what's going on with crypto, what's going on with gold, what's going on in the real estate market, what's going on with the Federal Reserve and what the beast is really doing and what's happening, and just try to give our perception on, as we read these articles, because we know the enemy, he gives out misinformation, truth mixed up with falsehood, you know what I'm saying? But, with our eye, we could purge through and be like, well, this is what these bastards really saying. You know what I'm saying? They really saying this on the outer. So that's what we do. And they can find me on Instagram, Fard Money Network. We on YouTube, Fard Money. We on Twitter, Fard Money. We also on Facebook, Fard Money Network, our business pages. And my personal IG is Fard Mahdi 47, Facebook Fard Mahdi. And that's it. And I got a link in Fard Mahdi as well. But that's how they can find out and reach out and find more about what we do. But we always try to have something that we could offer to the people that they can make money off of. Either they can come in and do the recruiting side, the selling side, or they can just put their money to work and they can see dividends or accumulate assets as well to let their money perpetual grow like that. That's what we do.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Well, Brother Fard, I wanted to ask you about fear. Have you ever been faced with fear? And if so, how have you overcome that fear?
Wow. Oh, man. I think fear was the factor that kept me away from complete change in my life. It was fear. And I guess I got tired this last time when I was faced with it because I'm on a federal prison yard. The federal prison yards are clicked up. I'm at a USP, so this is a high level security. So you have stabbings, gang stuff going on. It's going on all the time. Police get stabbed. So this stuff going on all the time. And I'm in GD. I'm in ACAR, as they call it. And I had even got up to a high ranking in their car, whatever like that, but it was just too much conflict in house going on. So I had to walk away. And me going into the nation, but on that same yard, I didn't leave this and going into the nation in that, that was a big challenge, you know what I'm saying? Because some of those old ones that I banged with and ran with were still there. You know what I'm saying? So you know how they looking at, oh, you faking, you ain't really about that life and this and the third like that. So I kind of just got tired. So when I'm faced with fear, I mean, I just pray the Master Fard Muhammad through the Christ, and I just, what I'm saying, give it all up to him to help me walk me through. If I'm even challenged with a fear today, that as the minister teacher, it ain't about that saying we won't be made afraid. It's just how you handle it. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
So right now, I just, all bets off, and that's why I will take risks with my money. You know what I'm saying? I feel more of having to go back to work. So there's a big fear. I feel me had to go get a job to take care of my family. So I will really risk this 10,000, this 20,000. If it got the potential to go to 30,000, I will risk it. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got no fear on that because my biggest fear is having to go back and trade time for dollars. But that's what keep me grounded. I just try to stay prayed up, man. Read and study as much as possible, you know what I'm saying? And they really tune in. And I listen to the minister like every day. It's not a day go by while I'm not listening to some lecture that the minister did, rather if I re-listening to something, listening to something I just found or something like that. And that just keep, the mentality balanced because fear is a real thing, but as the Christ say, fear holds us back. So we have to overcome that. We have to get away from that. So I can't remember the last time. I mean, I was okay. I forgot me getting married. I had never been with one woman. Now we've been together. We just celebrated 5 years on the 18th anniversary. You know what I'm saying? And I took on the challenge because she had already had a daughter from her previous marriage who was about 4. And she was the caregiver of her nephew, one of her sister children, and he was about 2. So now I took her on as to marry her, and all of my stuff wasn't together. You know what I'm saying? But I had a vision, I had a plan. But I took her on while she had it, so I had to take on these 2 children too. Now, mind you, the nephew he did go back with his mother after about a year and a half or so. You know what I'm saying? I helped raise him, and then we have our daughter here. You know what I'm saying? That was from my wife's previous marriage, and then we have also now brought in 3 children of our own. You know what I'm saying? So that was a challenge though. That was a fear. And that was me and my wife. We were talking about it the other night. I think I was trying to back out of it because I was afraid. So I was trying to back out of it. I was trying to like, you ain't ready. You don't really want to marry me. You don't want. I'm using all type of reverse psychology, but it's really me not really to take because I had never been with one woman. I didn't live like that. You know what I'm saying? In the street, I had a main girl, of course, but I also had side women as well as we club it. We in the streets, so all we do
Yes,
whatever
sir.
we want to do. You know what I'm saying? But coming in Islam, that you can't do that. That's not permissible or allowed. And so that was a big challenge. So that was a fear when we got married, 2019, April the 18th. Yeah, that was a big challenge of me facing a fear. You know what I'm saying? And then we didn't have a lot of obstacles and a lot of challenges to even get here. But now we had 5 years, so it looked like the future is bright. You know what I'm saying? We got to pass the 3-year trial run. But yeah, so and I love my wife dearly. She is very important to me. You know what I'm saying? And she's a high cause of the success that I have even had in business, even being in the nation. Because I was in Birmingham, Muhammad Mars 69. I moved from a Mars to a city that was trying to become a Mars. So that was a whole drop down. You know what I'm saying? Then I come this and then it's changing regions. You know what I'm saying? And the mentality in the southern region under your father and Captain Oliver to what's over here is night and day. It is night and day. You know what I'm saying? So even to deal with that and to really have patience and really to grow, she helped with that because she was always here. You know what I'm saying? But she definitely helped me. I guess that's the balancing of the natures. You know what I'm saying? Her nature is more compassionate, more patient, but I have to exercise that too. But I'm more like, man, listen, man, but she helped with that tremendously in my development for me to be the man that I am today. So I owe her a lot of thank you and a lot of, you know what I'm saying, all praise be to Allah for my wife who was only made in fashion for me. You know what I'm saying? And I was only made in fashion for her, but that was getting married to her 5 years ago. I had to face that fear.
Go ahead and teach. Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. People showing you love all around the country. His name that says all praises to Allah. Black love. Yasir said, thank you, beloved. And people saying Allah Akbar. Monica said, happy anniversary, family. Great, great. People saying alhamdulillah. This is beautiful. All right. My next question is, sir, what advice would you give to future husbands?
Ooh, I like that question. Future husbands. First of all, brothers, if you FOI, first of all, you need to be looking at an MGT. Period. You need to be looking at an MGT. All right. Second of all, bring more to the table than you just paying bills. Bring more to the table, meaning have you, because as the minister, I had a thought that you was gonna ask this question. Ironically, I was thinking about, I was like, I don't know what he gonna ask, but I was like, he might ask this, man. And I thought about this similar question to this, right? So the answer I want to give is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he teaches us that your wife don't come before work. So that means she's supposed to come when you have already found your purpose and you doing it. This is when she's supposed to come. You know what I'm saying? No different from when my wife came, I was in the vineyard. I was in the field all the time. I'm on the battlefield. And she comes. She didn't come before that. She didn't come when I was trying to work the jobs and try to do the mission on the side. No, she came when I was doing the mission full time. You know what I'm saying? That's when she came. So she came when I had found what I was supposed to be in the nation to help the minister accomplish. You know what I'm saying? Help make his word born. So have your plan mapped out, but be working your plan. Because it's one thing for you to have a good plan, but if your work ethic, if you're not really striving to reach those goals and accomplish it, you know what I'm saying? But brothers, you have to have a plan. You have to have, what do you need a wife for? If you're not doing anything, what do you need a woman for? That's why she comes after work, or she comes while you doing your work. After you have found your assignment, your role in the assignment, because we got the same assignment, but our role in the assignment is different. After you find your role in the assignment, she comes to complement you, because if she don't, what can she help you accomplish? And it don't mean, brothers, that you got to be all financially stable with the house and the car. You got to have something steady, but it's more important that you got a plan and you got a vision for her and the future family that she will potentially bring you. You know what I'm saying? So me and my wife, we deal with that. So that's my words to the brother. Find your purpose, find your work, and then you strive to accomplish that work and commit to that work. Then Allah will bless you with the right woman that does it. I know, man, you might say, well, what about the ones who not finding this? Well, they probably avoiding that process. Brothers don't have a vision. He might have a good job, but he really got a plan to get off the job, anything like that. He find a wife. Bam. It don't last. That will, I know, listen, Allah, permissive will, active will. But he will actively send you your help meet. And sometimes we might have to go through those experiences like my wife. She had to go through her first marriage to learn how to be a better wife this time around. So her experience in the first marriage allowed her to be better for me. You feel what I'm saying? So that's all in the hands of Allah. You know what I'm saying? So brothers, find your purpose. Bring more to the table than you just paying the bill, paying the mortgage, paying cardinals. That's we have to do that. But have a plan. What's the plan for the children that y'all plan to have? What's the plan for her? Because she can't work. You know what I'm saying? She can't work. I retired my wife, 10 months, 9 months after we got married. And she had a corporate job. She had a company car. You feel what I'm saying? And she didn't even have a boss over her shoulder for real. Like, she had a boss, but nobody really worked in her city with her. They was in Orlando or whatever like that. So she had an office to herself. She had the corporate car. But it's when brothers understand, listen, as we are trained as an FOI, my wife cannot be disrespected. She cannot be brushed. She could not be did any kind of way wrong by white, black, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Don't matter. and it don't be a repercussion or example made that this is MGT, especially my wife, she never goes uncovered. So she'd never be out of order with that. And so if I allow that, then that's on me. But she was doing that before I met her. She don't go uncovered. She don't go on social media uncovered. She don't leave the house uncovered. You feel what I'm saying? She just a sister that don't do that. You feel what I'm saying? So there's no reason for it. And I know how nice she is, how compassionate she is, how she love people and the love to talk and network and help people, the consideration she has. So I know it ain't nothing she gonna do to disrespect you, to make you think you gonna put your hand and insult her in any kind of way. So the best way to keep me off of death row, I got to get you off the job as soon as possible, because our plan is for our children to be made into gods, and I can't be working, or she most definitely can't be working for that to become a reality. The children have to be taught by their own. If we don't have an MUI, where they have to be homeschooled in this environment, studying the teachings of the Most High Muhammad from birth. You feel what I'm saying? That's the new educational paradigm that we have. We don't have to look to create a curriculum and do all that, put the lessons in them. I would rather before my children go to public school, I would rather they sit in the house, read Message to the Black Man, and listen to the minister lectures on YouTube all day before we send them over there to get killed. All right. So, but that's the brothers, have a vision. What is your plan? Why do you need a wife? Why do you want a wife? If you're not doing anywhere, going anywhere, you don't even need a woman. Ask the minister. That's not from me. We got proof, documentation. This is what the minister has said over the years, right? And a lot of people can bear me witness. So that's what I would say to the brother. Get your vision right, get your plan right, and do it, and your wife will come.
Oh, praise this, like you teaching. Go ahead, Fard. Fard. And people are showing you love all around the nation. Brother Tony said, beautiful teaching. Teach young God, do for self. All praises to Allah. Thank you all very much. You're saying 100. All praises to Allah. Go ahead. People just bear witness. Excellent. Yes, sir. And on a lighter note, I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite album of all time?
Favorite album all time? Oh my goodness. Man. That's a great question, brother. I don't know. I'm stuck in between because I was born in the 80s, so
Okay.
I grew up a Tupac fan. Uh,
Okay. Yes, sir.
uh, and I'm from the South. So
Okay.
the later part of me going into teenager, I also grew up a No Limit fan.
Okay.
Oh, I'm a big fan of C Murder. Like I don't care. I'm a big
Okay.
fan of C Murder, but I'm a big
Yes,
fan of
sir.
Pop. I'm a big. I don't really listen to them now. But oh man,
So because you're a big fan of C Murder, you're familiar with the song "The Kick Dough." Are you familiar with that
yes,
song?
of course. With
Okay.
Master
Okay.
P on there, well, of course, the Master P on there, yes, of course. So, I mean, that CD there, that
Yes,
album,
sir. Yes,
it
sir.
could be that Life or Death CD, brother. That could be my favorite album of all time. I know a lot of people ain't gonna like that one, but that could
Yeah.
be that. I'm thinking that or Machiavelli. It's
Okay. You
like
can't
in
go wrong with
between
it.
those two right there. You know what I'm saying? I would say, but I ain't never really just thought about all time. You know what I'm saying? But see, Murder Man, I pray to Allah that they tried to have mercy and they released that brother.
Yes,
I
sir.
grew up on his music, you know what I'm saying, heavy, but I grew up on Pop. And I be looking at the youngsters now, how they talk about Pop. And I'm like, man, Pop is the GOAT. Like, Pop is like Michael Jordan. If you talking about like folks that say you want to say Michael, LeBron, hey, listen, man, listen. Michael Jordan is the GOAT of basketball. He the god of basketball. Everybody else is a product, is a prototype of Michael Jordan.
Okay. Yes, sir.
All the rappers, Conscious, Gangster, whatever, they all are prototypes of Tupac. Period.
Okay. But
Period.
too much. Okay.
Period.
Go back. Okay.
Man,
Okay.
that's just what it is. So if you like them, then you got to like them. But I'll say Machiavelli or Life or Death from C. Murder.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can't go wrong with Machiavelli. One of my favorite albums of all time. See Murder. That was one of my favorite albums of all time. And I was a big No Limit fan too, from True to all of that. I felt like my dad is from Brunswick, Georgia, so we would go in the summer, and I went to the mall they had in the town, got me a no limit pendulum. You know what I'm saying? I had one trade on, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So I
sir.
was repping the tank. I was a little, I was repping the tank for sure. My family get mad because I played No Limit. I had every album from Fiend to me. It was out of control. My my No Limit phase was wild. It was a thing. It was a thing.
Yes,
But yes, sir. But before I I want to thank you again. We got one more question for you, and shout out to your wife and your family. What would you like your legacy to be, sir?
Oh man, I was listening to the beautiful interview you did with brother Abdul Kiyan Muhammad, and you asked him that question, and he kind of changed my answer. His answer kind of changed my answer, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
But
sir.
I'm gonna keep it 100. My legacy be I want to be uh known for helping the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan take the people to the Lamb of God. I want to be known for that, but I want to be known for, you know, bringing, I want to be more, I want to be known for that. And this is in title with that, but I want to be known for being the brother that helped us understand spirituality and economics, righteous
Mm,
economics. I want to be that brother to help. So the stuff I do it based on that. Yes, I can deal with the spiritual, yes. But I was a brother that when I came home, I'm a doer. So I'm a soldier. So I come straight out of prison. I'm ready to work. I'm ready to act. What? Like, cause before I joined the nation, I lean more to the Black Panther, the original Black Panthers mentality with
mm,
the government. Like, let's just get some guns. Let's just shoot. Man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like that. And then I remember when I was in the Fed, I remember brother name was Black Son. I never forget this brother. He was one of our GED teachers or whatever. But he was an inmate. And his name was Black Son. He was like out of South Carolina, I think. He was out of South Carolina, I think Columbus, South. No, Charleston. He was out of Charleston, South Carolina, matter of
mm.
fact. I was telling him that, and he just like literally like, brother, that's dumb. That ain't gonna work, brother. Like what? I'm like, man, you know, this is, and I was like, this is a goal I want to have that I just do this, like at least like 2 of them before I die. They're like, brother, that's
Mm,
foolish. He was like, brother, that's foolishness, brother. You talking stupid. You know what I'm saying? And he
mm,
went entertain me, so it made me like, oh, brother. You know what I'm saying? And then I came to the nation. I was like, oh, this is how you fight the enemy. You have to outthink the enemy. So when I come home, I'm ready to go to work. I'm ready to do this. So I don't sit around and complain. And the minister told us if we're not willing to solve a problem, if we're not willing to hand up a problem, then if you make a complaint, you just a complainer. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? If you're not willing to solve or help solve that so-called problem that you complain about or make a complaint about. So I was one of those ones could see the problem. Allah blessed me to be able to see problems. He blessed me to be able to see to do it. And the best way to do it, to solve a problem, I mean, is to you do it. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
So if it was ever a problem or a void somewhere, I would be the one who step in to fill that void. And I felt like and feel like from listening to the minister over the years that a void in the nation, in with black organizations, period, not just the nation, but with us too, is economics, is financial. Finding someone that could get wealthy, get rich, but keep his righteous bearing intact and still do it from that perception. You know what I'm saying? And really bust up thinking that, oh, I'm so spiritual, I can't have money. That's evil. No, no, no. The minister said, no, 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 no. You got to check your assets out. You got to check your lifestyle out because you can't be God conscious and you poor when he
mm,
over all of this. So I want to be the brother that help bust that up and bring us more because as Brother Jabril said, Brother Jabril Muhammad, who I studied intensively when I was
yes,
in
sir.
prison, and he's also responsible for my development with the reality of God and the mentality I have. So I'm always miss that brother and always reference him because
Yes,
he
sir.
helped me. Even to this day, I don't if I don't read his article in the final call, it's kind of like I ain't even read the final call. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what articles I read, I have to read his article. Matter of fact, behind the most honorable Muhammad the Christ, Brother Jabril Muhammad is my second favorite author. I just love the
Mm,
way he write. I just love the way because he make you think. And then he'll have you on that be reading like, damn, I got to study more. Damn, I ain't doing enough. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
mm,
Like, hey man, we in the we the council of the gods. We on the level of the 12 major, the 12 minor. We on their level from the door. You know what I'm saying? But what are we doing? We can't plan for next year. Like, what are we really doing? You know what I'm saying? And we really in a, Brother Joshua, we really in a higher level than them. Why? Because they wrote about us. So some of the things we trying to do is already stuff in front of that might derail that. But some of the things, as the Christ told us, some prophecies that could be altered, and it's some that can't. You feel what I'm saying? So they were just writing stuff. They wrote, and they didn't even fulfill what was written. So they didn't really have no obstacle to walk into like that. We got to walk into what they already wrote. That's why it's important for us to be in line and be in harmony with the will of Allah. You know what I'm saying? To be in tune with the Messiah. That way we could overcome those obstacles. So, you know, that's my, I wanted to just be the one. I wanted to I'll be one of the ones who known for Brother Fard Mahdi came, help the nation. And this is why we have this. This is why we understand these economics. This is why we have this and this. And it's not nothing that comes from me. Because I got clips, I got receipts. For anybody challenge what I say about money and us getting money, I got receipts from the minister now. You see, Dave, right now, and I'm finna get ready to release, we just were waiting out the Ramadan, but I'm finna get ready to release a barrage of some more of them that me and my wife have found. You feel what I'm saying? That he's been teaching on, because we gotta get away from that, because we are on our mission, and our focal point got to be separation. And we have to have these institutions, have these networks that one of the righteous students head up. It ain't for the minister to head up everything. He the guy. He told us what to do. It's for us to make his word bond. He did everything. And now we're not even rebuilding anything. He built the nation from his faith. We just building on top of what he done already built. That's we ain't rebuilding nothing. You feel what I'm saying? We taking the word and making it bond, making it flesh. So that's what I want to be known for, Brother Joshua. You know what I'm saying? I want to be known for that brother who did that and had that family. That's why I called us the Mahdi family, that had and established that family. So you will see my son, my first son, Wali Fard Mahdi, his young brother, Fard Mahdi, their sister, Fahima Naila Mahdi, their older sister, Kamalia, you know what I'm saying, Mahdi Muhammad. You know, I wanted them to see them. So when you see them 10 years from now, you feel what I'm saying? Whether I'm here or whether I'm not, you gonna know that that's what it want to be, and they're gonna be like, well, where they come from, what seed they come from, what wound they come from.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Me and my wife is highlighted as that one that helped bridge that and close, because that's a gap. We gotta close that gap. You feel what I'm saying? Because we are at war. And as we see what's going on in the East right now, the minister can leave any day now. And we got to be in position, in prepared, with food stirred up, war, all of the stuff we need to survive this time that's coming. You know what I'm saying? We have to have that at the forefront of our mind, and our children have to be trained from birth about the reality of God, so they won't make a mistake as they grow up and don't understand, I be tricked out of their position that is their birthright. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to be known for, dear brother. Praise be to Allah.
Teaching, brother. Teaching. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. And sister, your wife, Sister Yatira, says, teach the science, make it make sense. Brother Tony X Gray says, get righteous and rich. And Sister Khadija Kareem, somebody, Sister Khadija, I think it's her first time watching. She says, can't be God conscious and poor. Seriously, that's why some people compromise, because needs are met. Dr. Henry M. Carter says, that's right, black man. And, you know, people are showing you love all around the world. I want to thank you, Brother Fard Mahdi. And once again, thank you for your spirit. And Savior's Day was truly appreciated. The brotherhood that you showed off the rip, and me and you that never met before. So I appreciate that as well. I want to thank you all for watching. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off for the People's Podcast. I'm about to go listen to some Seabirder before my next interview, but all right.
All praise be to Allah. Love you, dear brother, man.
Yes, sir. Love you, boy, sir. And I look forward to us connecting soon. I visit Florida at least twice a year, not too far from Tampa, so maybe we're going to hold it down. And so I look forward to meeting you again or seeing you again, sir.
I visit Atlanta probably 20 times a year. About to be over there next month. So I got
Okay,
your
yes,
number,
sir.
so
Let's
I'll call you, brother.
yes,
We can
sir. Hey,
wrap
no
up
problem. We
things.
locked in.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We locked in. Thank you all for watching. Assalamu alaikum, family. And yes, sir. It's about to go on YouTube. Boom.